You would have to be living under a rock to have not heard of this Giselle Pelicot case. This is coming out of France. This is a case where there are 51 men convicted of raping this woman that is pictured here. Now, she's beyond. You want to talk about brave? This is brave. When you would be willing to put your face out there to be brave enough to stand and confront these perpetrators that did this horrible act to you. It says, this is the trial of cowardice. When you walk into a bedroom and see a motionless body, at what point do you decide not to react? Well, I'm going to tell you something about men. There are men out there that actually will sleep with a corpse. Yes, a corpse. There are men that are into, I think it's called necrophilia. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what it's called. Men are disgusting. Okay? By nature, they're disgusting. They just are. Their thought processes are not of that of women. Women couldn't even fathom doing something like this. I'm telling you straight out. We can't even comprehend what would make you want to do this to a woman like this. So I'm just going to move aside and read some of the explanations that these men gave. I thought she was in on the game. This is Simon M., 42. This is a 42-year-old. This is a man up there in age, a builder, father of 5, okay, saying, I thought she was in on the game. That's his excuse. This guy's excuse, I didn't force anybody. Radoan E., 55, born in Morocco, working as a nurse. My gosh. Most of these defendants tried to find ways to deny the accusation of rape despite being filmed. They were filmed. And no shocker here, many of them covered their faces with face masks. They didn't want to be seen. They didn't want to be recognized by society. I suggest women out there that are married to these men get a divorce immediately. These people are literally closeted sociopaths. They're maniacs. They're crazy people. And people need to be aware of this case. I think this is one of those cases that really shed light on just men in general and their nature, right? Even if the defense is free to make any argument it wants, it says a whole lot about who we are. This is Pelicot's lawyer, Antoine Camus, criticized the defense strategy of the accused and the repeated claim the rapes happened by accident or error of judgment. He stated that each defendant contributed to the monstrosity of the crime. Absolutely. Here's the thing, and I'm going to get to the point of why I'm talking about Giselle Pelicot, because it's not just you guys probably have seen it. Let's be real. Many of us have seen this case and know the disgustingness of it and just cringe. Our stomach hurts after hearing the story. And then we move on with our day because we're like, oh God, please hope this never happens to anyone I love or to myself or to my children. We all do that as women, don't we? We cross our fingers and hope, God, please do not give me a man that is this disgusting, because you could be staring down into your man's face thinking he's the nicest person and he's a closeted maniac. Here's another one. I couldn't have guessed it was without her knowledge since her husband is supposed to be protecting her. Now, as much, look, okay, as much as I want to I would want to body slam this man to the ground. He's 70 years old. I probably could do it. I understand his point. He's supposed to be protecting her. It makes you wonder, right? Is the husband of Giselle Pelicot at fault because he's the one? Is it the men here? They're just willing participants. They're just playing, like they said, playing along. They think this is some fetish or role-playing situation that this couple had going on. But even if it's a fetish, this is what makes me think some of these things cross the line, right? And when it comes to morality and just common sense. If somebody told me you can go and have sex with an animal, because there's women that do this, I would be like, what? Like, immediately turn that person in, immediately 911. Like, there are certain things that's just logically, just think of it, right? You walk into a room and you see a woman, like, she cannot speak for herself, but her husband tells you, let's say he, concocted some story of, no, she wants this. This is a fetish of ours. Wouldn't you just be like, I don't know, this doesn't sound right, bro. She can't tell me for herself that she does not want this. So Even if her husband was not protecting her, Muhammad R, 70 years old, right? Why would you persist in doing this? As long as the husband was present, there was no rape. This is Adrian, 34-year-old, a 34-year-old. Like literally, you can't. He's already serving a 14-year sentence for raping 3 former partners. He said he went to Pelicot to take part in the stage scenario and didn't know Giselle was drugged. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. So now I'm going to get to the point of my whole video. There's a woman right now. Her name is Lily Phillips. And I meant to do a video on this and I just haven't had the time. But I'm going to tie this into the point of this Giselle case. So now you have a girl named Lily Phillips that has a willing desire to sleep with 1,000 men. All right. I don't know if it's in a 24-hour period. I don't give a bleep. Okay. Whatever the case is, to sleep with that many men, have that many partners, this is a willing participant, fellas. Why is it that you guys are so mentally just disgusting that you would torture a woman that is unable to speak for herself? I'll tell you why. It's because you like control. You guys want control. It's why this girl had such a hard time. I heard she had a hard time even recruiting the 100 men. Because there are some men out there that are like, nah, it's nasty. You know how many men have been running through this girl? She's 23 and she's already had this many men and she wants more. Like, that's nasty. Like, there's no pleasure. It's just maybe a quick hit it and run, but it's not as satisfying as that control you get from doing this to somebody that does not want it. It's why I believe there's a lot of women out there that are terrified of men, because once you say the word no, it shockingly somehow makes you more attractive to them. I know this from my firsthand experience. The men I've turned down are the ones that will end up being your stalker, are the ones that will freaking not want to quit. They might not even have been that interested in you, but the minute you shut it down and say, no, I'm good, that's when they want you. Okay. Once you give a man a little too much like this, you're making yourself way too available. And you're not attractive. You're not attractive. What you are, you're quick hit it and run for these men. And I blame her mother, because I found out that it's her mother and father that are like somehow a part of this. Like, her manager is her mom. I mean, this is a huge story. I see so many people on YouTube talking about this situation, saying she deserves love. I came across some woman on the internet talking about this and saying she deserves love, and that the men, they deserve love too, because they don't know. No, honey, they know exactly what they're doing. Just like those men that walked in the room and raped Giselle Pelicot. We live in a disgusting world. I literally tell my girls all the time, you cannot trust anyone. Hear me? Anyone at all. Literally. Unless you're like me, that, you have a good parent. Like, I consider myself a good mom. I love my kids to death. I will do anything to protect them. All right. Maybe me. And not even 100% you can rely on anyone. When you come here, you're coming here as a fighter, and you have to be. The only person that you have is the man upstairs. You have God protecting you, and that's it. And you got to pray and make all of your known desires and wishes and wants to him. This little girl does not have God. She does not have principles. She doesn't have morals and values. And that is why I see it going very badly for her. She doesn't turn her life around, because this isn't enough. As the husband had given me permission for me, she agreed to it. This is a 37-year-old father of 2. This is a father, right? Her ex-husband should be executed, and his wee-wee should be removed entirely from his body. So as the men that did this horrific act. I don't know when we're going to start I don't know when we're going to start punishing people fittingly for the crimes that they commit. You guys tell me what you think about this case and what you think about Lily Phillips, because it ties into the mentality for me. Go with the women that want it, fellas. Go with the women that are wanting it. If you enjoyed this content today, or you just like these type of conversations, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Let's make 2025 a great year together. And I'd love for you guys to help my community grow. I do respond to as many comments as possible here and on TikTok. And remember, as always, think for yourself and have a great day.